Welcome back, snacks, to the Sorrows and Prayer, Weeping and Gnashing of Teeth YouTube channel with your one and only Mr. Bailey. As we continue this process to better understand music theory, we have been learning about triads, building different kinds of triads, major, minor, and so on, how to write them on the staff, and also how to play them on the piano. And today, as we continue that process, I want to be talking about when you add a fourth note in your triad, which can be a sixth chord or a seventh chord. Today, we are going to learn about seventh chords and different types of qualities. Now, when it comes to seventh chords, there are five main kinds: major, minor, diminished, half diminished, and major minor. As we continue on this journey together, if you need to stop, take a break, cry, pray, don't let me stop you, I completely understand. But I'm going to be showing you on a whiteboard how to write them, and then on the piano how to play them and listen for the different kinds of sounds. I really hope you enjoy. I'm going to choose 3 of the 5 different types of seventh chords to walk you through for time's sake, which is going to be major, minor, and diminished. I'm going to choose the key of D because it is not super difficult, but you will still be dealing with some sharps in there. Key of D has 2 sharps, F and C, F sharp and C sharp. So to begin this process of building seventh chords, we're going to start with the major seventh chord. To start with that, you're going to have a major triad plus a major seventh. Now to build that key of D, you're gonna build your triad. I hope you guys know how to build major triads. Key of D, you're just gonna sharp that F, and then you're gonna add your seventh chord. For major seventh chords, you're going to use a major seventh, which means that's a C. In the key of D, the C is sharp, you're gonna sharp that C. That simple. Build a major triad, add the major seventh chord. Just adding the major seventh note means you just make sure that note is in the key. So we had to sharp the C. Super simple. Moving on to the minor triad and the minor seventh. It is a minor triad plus a minor seventh chord. So let's just start with building the triad. Always just build the triad, make sure it's in the correct key. So it's going to be D, F, natural, and A. Because remember, minor triads, you lower the third by a half step. So instead of F sharp, it's going to be F natural. Now let's add the seventh up there. Since you're building a minor seventh, and minor you lower by a half step, you're going to lower, this would be sharp, but you're lowering it by a half step, so it's going to be C natural up there. And that is your minor seventh chord. Super simple. Build the triad minor, add the minor seventh. Now, for the diminished seventh chord, we are going to be building a triad, but diminished seventh chord is a diminished chord plus a diminished seventh. So let's build this triad. Now, for diminished chords, you lower the third and the fifth. So this is how the major one looks. It would look like that with the sharp. But to lower the third, you remove the sharp, and then you have to lower the fifth. And since this was A natural already, we need to add a flat. Now let's add the seventh note on top. For a diminished 7, you lower it by 2 half steps. So right now, this is supposed to be a C sharp. We can't just lower it like we do the minor. We can't just lower it by 1 half step and do natural, but we actually have to flat it because it's by 2 half steps. C sharp, C, C flat. And that is how you write them on the board. Super simple, quick, easy to do. And now we're going to go to the piano. Now we are going to be playing our major, minor, and diminished seventh chords on the piano. Let's start with major. We're going to build our major triad in the key of D, D, F sharp, A. To play that seventh chord, we're going to add a major seventh, which is C sharp. Just as simple as that. Moving on to our minor, we're going to build a minor chord triad to start, which is D, F natural and A. Then we're going to add our minor 7th, which is just C natural. Minor triad, minor 7th equals a minor 7th chord. Moving on to our diminished 7th chord, we are going to be building a diminished triad with a diminished 7th on top. So to build the diminished, you're going to lower the 3rd and the 5th by a half step. Minor triad plus that diminished 7th, which is C flat. And it immediately makes you want to go back to the 1. Anyway, and that is all. Thank you so much for joining me.